How you guys doing? It's Master Mark Kanaar here today, and I want to talk to you guys about the white belt with yellow stripe philosophical part for the curriculum. We're going to talk about attitude today, and attitude is really, really important about becoming successful, how you deal with things. And I want to talk to you guys about the foundation of attitude. And the basic foundation of attitude is your perception of life, how you perceive things. If you really want to change your attitude, you really got to change your perception. You know, in the Bible, it says, if you seek, you shall find. And a lot of times I run into people that have a bad attitude and they're looking for everything that's wrong, everything that's bad. And those type of people will find it because, you know, if you seek, you shall find. And in order to change your perception, you kind of got to change your mindset. If you're looking for positive things all the time, like I said, you'll find it. If you're trying to find negative, guess what? You're going to find negativity everywhere. And that's just the way that it is. So your perception ultimately will guide you to have a different reality. And I run into people that have a negative mindset, and most of the time when they have a negative mindset, that's all they're looking for all the time. You know, woe is me, my life is terrible, somebody needs to change it, it's somebody else's fault. You know, they blame the government needs to take care of it, or, you know, these group of people need to take care of it. And the reality is that if you really want to change things, change yourself and inspire other people to look up to you, become a leader in your community, and become the best version of yourself. You want everybody else to change, but you don't want to change yourself. That just doesn't make any sense at all. All right. So you have to change your perception in order to change your reality. And once you change your reality, that's really when your attitude will change. So remember that the foundation of your attitude is your perception. Now, I always tell the story of when I was a little boy, we're going to go to my grandmother's house. And I was like 5 years old. I lived in Toledo, Ohio at the time. And we had a calendar that I would check off how many days was away from me to go to my grandma's. And my grandma lived in Muskegon, so it was like a 4-hour drive at least. And we rarely ever went. And I loved going to my grandma's in my grandpa's house. They just were really great people. My grandma was really short and she was from Hungary. And my grandpa was this guy who was kind of tall, real thin, part Native American, dark skin, everything like that. Really good guy. And he really cared about us. We could feel how much he really loved us when we were at their house. You know, my grandma would give me candy. She'd give me $1 before when I left. And my grandpa would always be doing math problems in his chair. And it was just a great time because my grandpa would take us out for walks and teach us about life. A lot of different things he taught me. He was like a second father to me. And when we got closer to the day, and I remember checking off on the calendar, the Saturday we were supposed to go, I got up early, I was all excited, and my dad had this beat up Datsun and it would not start. And I remember the fit I threw. I was super, super upset. And I went back in our room, or my room with my brother, and I just was like, just threw a fit, just was pouting, really upset, had a horrible attitude. Well, later on in the day, my dad ended up fixing the car, but it was too late to go to grandma's. So he offered to take us to the fair. And I didn't want to go to the fair. Like, I sat in my room and pouted, and my brother went. And I remember my brother coming home with like cotton candy and balloons and everything like that. And my perception was my entire day was wrecked because I didn't get my way. I wasn't able to go to my grandma's. And my brother was like, well, you know, even though we couldn't go to grandma's, at least dad's trying to be a good father and trying to change what's going on and trying to make the best of the matter. And he went. And I remember when I seen him with all that stuff, I thought in my head, why didn't I just go? You know, I didn't blame him. I didn't blame my dad. I blamed myself. You know, I was only 5 years old and I blamed myself. And, you know, I remember that day. Like, I remember changing my attitude and how my attitude affected everything. And that's like life. Like, you have to look at it like that. Sometimes things aren't going to go your way. And you kind of got to look and say, well, what else can we do? Because I'm not benefiting myself in that type of negative mindset. I remember just being in my room all day. My brother and I had bunk beds and I just didn't do nothing. No one was going to change my mind. No one was going to change my attitude. It was only me. And once I saw my brother come home and I seen how happy he was, I knew I missed out on an opportunity to do something, even though everything in our life was going bad. So, you know, it's up to you to change your attitude. And, you know, you really got to change your perception of what's going on. You know, no matter how bad things are, you can try to find good in everything. And I've had some bad stuff happen to me, but the problems that I have in my life and I sit down and try to figure out and solve them makes me grow as a human being. And it makes me realize, like, you know, if something bad happens, it's not the end of the world. I have to stay very, very relaxed. And that relaxedness shows that you have confidence, and that attracts people. I remember one time I was at a restaurant and this huge brawl broke out. And I was like, well, you know, I got to get up here and kind of break up the situation. And I was just walking around, kind of being real calm. I wasn't getting into any, like, hitting anybody or anything like that. I had to tie up a couple people, and I wrestled for a really long time. And I remember some of the waitresses and stuff came up to me and thought it was awesome. And I said, was it awesome that I was fighting? They were like, no, it was awesome that you were so relaxed in such a bad situation. And I think about, like, fighting in the cage and fighting at all these competitions and doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and judo tournaments and all these different types of competitions that I've been in. And I put myself in the worst situations possible, the toughest situations. You know, you go to Pan Am's and fight, you know, you're fighting people from all over the world, different countries. Okay. That's a tough, tough, tough thing. So your attitude is, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to win. I'm going to go out there, no doubts, no nothing, and perceive yourself as a champion. Your reality will become that. You know, we're martial artists, we're performers. Our attitude should always be towards that type of performance, the best performance you can do. And you know what? If your mindset gets bad, you're not going to put on the performance you want. And that's not a fun experience. You know, the first time I went to nationals back in 1997, I didn't do very well. And I remember driving home and realizing, like, hey, there's no way my coach could prepare me for several thousand people at an event. There's no way he could do that. It's something I had to jump off and do myself. And I kind of got psyched out by how many people were there. And it was my attitude, you know. I didn't experience that. So this attitude of fear and anxiety kind of raced in my mind. I didn't think I belonged there. But then after I lost, I got to quarterfinals and lost. I didn't medal. I didn't place. I remember driving home being disappointed in myself because I didn't do the best I could do. And I remember driving home and saying, I am never going to let that happen again. Okay. I had to change my attitude. And I remember driving back the next year and I ended up getting first place. And I remember beating everybody, and they were tough matches. And when things got really tough, I just thought in my head, you know, just put on the best performance you can. You know, if you put the best performance you can on, you will win. Don't think that guy's better than you. You know, don't think you don't belong there. Think you're here to get experience, to become a better person. The place doesn't matter. Just put the best performance on you can. And I remember winning. And I remember thinking that was a far better attitude than going to this competition and thinking, I don't belong here. There's thousands of people here. What am I doing? Why am I here? That guy's better than me. Okay. All that stuff defeated me before I actually got out there, especially as you go through the brackets. It's like things get tougher and tougher and tougher. And that's like about just always about attitude. So I want you guys to think about, if you're asked on your test about attitude for white belt with yellow stripe, remember, it's your perception. It's how you view reality. And if you seek, you will find. You know, if you're looking for bad things, you will find it. If you're looking for positive things, you'll find it. The Bible's the truth right there in that statement. And you have to think about stuff like that. So I just want you guys in class to really work on your attitude. When things get tough, think, hey, this thing that's tough, this is giving me more experience. It's making me into a better person, a better version of myself. And go out there and just try your best. Go out there and put the best performance you can on. And that is the best attitude to have. And think about it. Put together a game plan to have a great attitude. Perception, reality, attitude. Those three things will help you in life. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.